Hello, I'm Michael LeDuc, and welcome back to the Red Lobster Chef's blog.
And I'm Daryl Mickler. The holiday season is a great time of year for entertaining, and one great way to enhance it is with the addition of seafood. We're going to show you some wonderful ideas for doing that this week.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about if you have a Christmas party at your house, how do you kind of take it over the top? How do you use seafood to sort of make it the best party your friends have ever been at? So we're going to do a twist on a couple of classics, show you some new stuff, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So let's get going. So the first thing we're going to do today is show you a new way to make a chilled seafood platter to have at your party. Now, a lot of times you'll see shrimp cocktail platters, which we've got here, but we've also added some other ingredients that you may not be familiar with. These are smoked scallops. You can pick them up at a gourmet market or a seafood market. They're cold. Now, a lot of people eat scallops hot. They're perfectly good cold. They get a real nice, rich flavor from the smoke when you eat them this way, so it adds a real nice contrast and flavor to these plates. Now, this is one of the really cool things on the platter. This is a snow crab cocktail claw. These come just like this. Now, the shell has been removed. It's designed so it's real easy to dip and eat, so it's a great way to serve crab at your party. Lastly, we've got some chilled lobster meat. Now, this is Maine lobster meat that's been poached, taken out of the shell, and chilled that you used to dip just like you would shrimp cocktail. Now, the important part about putting these platters together is that this seafood really has to stay cold. You want to make sure you keep it in the refrigerator. So when you prepare these, maybe take each individual seafood, store them in a Ziploc bag, keep them in the refrigerator cold. That way, when you bring them out to set up your platter, everything will be cold, everything will be great. The colder the seafood, the better the platter is going to be. So you'll put this together, and it's a great way to start your Christmas party.
One item that everybody loves at holiday parties are those cheesy, creamy, warm dips that are a little bit decadent but just oh so good. Today we're going to show you a twist on that using lobster. We start today with a spinach artichoke dip. Now, you can get a great recipe from our website, maybe have your own recipe, or you can even pick one up at the grocery store. And then we're going to add to that Maine lobster meat that we've cooked off and chilled, and then chopped up into about 1-inch pieces. Now that we've added everything, we just want to stir this gently so that we don't break up the lobster meat and those pieces, those nice big pieces of lobster meat stay whole. Then I'm going to put that in a little baking dish that I've brushed with a little bit of olive oil to help it keep from sticking. Now, I want to put this in there, but not pack it too tight because, again, we don't want to break up the lobster meat. And then I'm going to add a little bit of goat cheese to the top of this. Goat cheese provides a really interesting flavor, certainly the cheesiness, but it's nice and it'll toast up nice as we put it in the oven. We keep our pieces of goat cheese a little bit big here, where they're nice and cheesy. I'm going to pop this in a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes until the top starts to get nice and brown.
So a great way to end all your cocktail parties is really with a great cup of cappuccino or an espresso. So today what we're going to do is we're going to twist it up once again. We're going to make a lobster cappuccino. Now we're going to take some real great creamy bisque. We're going to froth a little cream. We're going to put it in a cup, and we're even going to twist the traditional biscottis. So what you're going to need to make the lobster cappuccino is we're going to start with a great creamy lobster bisque. Now to get this started, you're going to need a lobster stock or some broth. Now you can buy some lobster concentrate or lobster bouillon or even lobster base in the store. Follow the directions for that with hot water. Get that nice and hot almost to a boil. Next, you're going to add some heavy cream. Now, you're going to want to use heavy cream and not milk because that's going to make it nice and rich, add a lot of flavor. Don't want to let that boil. Just want to bring it up to temperature. To that, you're going to add rice. Now, this is really what makes bisque a bisque. You don't thicken it with flour or cornstarch. Actually, you're going to add the rice to this, and you're going to thicken it up and puree it, and that's what's going to give it its texture. To that mixture, we're going to add some lobster meat. Everything's better with lobster meat. And now that we've got those ingredients combined, what you've got is a great creamy lobster bisque, and we're going to assemble that. So we're going to come back, take that bisque, and make a great lobster cappuccino.
One thing our lobster cappuccino has to have is that topping of rich, creamy foam that really makes a cappuccino. An easy way to do that is to pick up a frother at your local coffee store or kitchen store. It has a whip attachment at the bottom that goes in the bottom of our container. We fill our container up with milk, half and half, or skim milk, about a third full, because it is going to gain a lot of volume as we use it. It's an easy way to make foam without having to use the cappuccino machine or the espresso machine. And this usually takes about 2 minutes or so. Another item our cappuccino has to have is biscotti. Now, biscotti is traditionally a sweet loaf of bread that's cooked twice. That's what the word biscotti means. We're going to take sourdough bread, honey dough, wheat bread, your favorite savory bread, and do the same thing. You just want to cut about 1/4-inch thick slices, kind of on a bias here. And then just take them, brush them with olive oil, and either pop them in the oven or put them in the saute pan just until they start to turn brown a little bit, get nice and crisp, until you have a nice biscotti that looks like this.
All right, now we're going to finish this great lobster cappuccino. We've got our creamy lobster bits. We're going to ladle some of that in the bowl. And Chef, why don't you finish that off?
All right, we have our foam here, which really finishes off a cappuccino correctly, and our sourdough biscotti.
All right, and now we've got our great holiday meal. We've got sort of a new way to do a seafood platter with all this fresh new seafood on it that we showed you earlier. We've got a spin on a classic artichoke dip. We've added some lobster to it, and we're going to end it off with a great lobster cappuccino with foam and a new biscotti. So that's it for us today. Thanks for coming by, and please come see what's fresh today at Red Lobster. If you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear them. So please email us at chefsblog@redlobster.com. And come by and see what's fresh today at Red Lobster.